Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm making a video to show you guys the ultrasonic cleaner that I've been using in my shop for quite a few years now. I do get tons of questions on ultrasonic cleaners. I'm going to explain to you the pros and cons of the ultrasonic cleaner. I'm also going to show you what I use in the ultrasonic cleaner as a cleaning solution. And after my video, you should be able to decide whether this is good for you or not in your repair shop. And here's the ultrasonic cleaner. This is the model number. It's a 2.5 liter capacity. Now there's no brand name on this. I did buy it from a distributor here in Canada about 4 or 5 years ago. And I do have some water in it right now. There is no cleaning solution in here as of yet. I will show you that just a bit later in the video. Now I want to let you guys know that the 2.5 liter capacity is a bit small. If I did have to buy another one, I would buy a bigger one because you will find it a bit small when you put bigger carburetors and bigger parts inside here. So basically what I would recommend is twice that size, or at least 4 liter capacity. And definitely you need to get it with the heating function as well to heat the cleaning solution, the water. And this here is the timer. So right now I've set it at 120 degrees. It's still heating. I'm going to wait till the temp gets right up to here. It does clean a lot better if you do have the heating function on the ultrasonic cleaner. I would not recommend buying one without the heating feature. Now, one thing I have to say is I'm not sure if this heats up in Fahrenheit or Celsius. Now this one's a well-built unit. It's all metal all around. It's quite solid. There's no plastic. So if you do buy one for a repair shop and you want it to last, make sure you buy one that's solid steel like this. And this one here does come with a basket inside, so you can put all your parts in there and then just lift the basket when you're done. Now you can use the ultrasonic cleaner in your shop depending on what you do, to clean jewelry, to clean small parts, to clean carburetors. You can clean a whole bunch of stuff in this ultrasonic cleaner. It's not just designated for one purpose in itself. Now you can see I've got some cleaning solutions here. I'm going to show you which ones I use and which ones I don't. Okay, the first one I'm going to show you is the one that I do not use and that you should not use because it's corrosive. Now I had to learn this the hard way when I first got the ultrasonic cleaner. I was all new to this stuff. I did use this specific degreaser here in the machine, only to get my parts turn really dark. The metal actually turned like almost black. And you could tell that it was just a bit too corrosive, so I stopped using this one altogether. And this one here's from Home Depot. Now I do use this one here in the shop in a spray bottle. You can dilute it with some water, put it in a spray bottle, clean your countertops with it. It works really great. And now I'm going to show you the ones that I do actually use in my ultrasonic cleaner, and it's the Blue Dawn dish soap and the Zep orange cleaner. You can get all these at Home Depot, and you can use it liberally as well. Now you don't have to use this specific stuff here in your ultrasonic cleaner. You can buy specific ultrasonic cleaner. It is quite expensive, so whatever works for you and whatever you can afford, then that's what I suggest that you use. So what I usually do is I fill up my ultrasonic cleaner with water, and I just use regular tap water. Make sure when you fill it, you don't go to the top, because when you put your parts in, the water will come up. So I left over 1 inch here of space between the water and the top of the machine. And what I do is I grab the Blue Dawn dish soap. I put it in liberally. And then what I do is I grab the Zep orange degreaser. I put it in liberally as well, probably 1/4 cup. And it's pure, it's not diluted from the jug. So that's a heavy dose there because the water's orange like the degreaser. However, if your parts are really dirty, it will not hurt to have a bit extra. And now you're probably wondering, why do you have some windshield washer here beside the cleaning solutions? Well, my answer to that is sometimes the shop isn't heated 24/7 in the winter. If I leave this in the shop with just water, it will freeze and maybe damage the machine. So in the winter time, I leave a bit of windshield washer inside the machine with the water, and that way it never freezes up. So now I'm going to put the lid back on. The water will heat up a lot faster with the lid on. Once it's at 120, I'll put the parts in. But in the meantime, I'm going to talk a little bit about the parts I'm going to be putting inside the cleaner. And basically, you can see here that the parts are mostly carbs, except for the small brass spacer that I will throw in there just to show you the result of it being cleaned. Now, one thing I want to talk about here is the ultrasonic cleaner is not a end-all kind of repair. You cannot just put it in there and expect it to do every single thing and have everything looking new again. And an example of that is this part over here. It's so rusted that if you have a carburetor like this, just throw it out. Don't bother wasting your time in the ultrasonic cleaner, because even if you get it nice and clean, this part will rust again. So for today, I will not be putting the bowl in the ultrasonic cleaner, but I will be putting the carburetor part of it. You can see some dirt here on the emulsion tube. This will come off very easily in the ultrasonic cleaner. And here I've got another carb as well, and a 2-cycle carburetor here as well. Now, the best thing to do when you put parts in the ultrasonic cleaner, especially carburetors, is that you should take them apart, take the bowl off, take the float off in the needle valve, clean off any oil or wipe any oil or gas that may be on the carburetor, and then put it inside the ultrasonic cleaner. And if you're cleaning a 2-cycle carburetor like this with diaphragms, I would suggest as well that you take it apart. And all I need to do this today here is a Phillips screwdriver. And again here, take it all apart. You can put the plastic part in if you want. I will not be doing that today. I'll take off the primer bulb. And usually when you clean a 2-cycle carburetor like this, once you've had it go through the ultrasonic cleaner, I do highly recommend that you replace the carburetor kit, because sometimes when you remove the diaphragms, you're breaking the seal that it had on the carburetor. You'll notice sometimes you remove diaphragms and they're stuck on the carburetor. That means it's got a good seal. Sometimes you take it off, you put it back, and it's just not sealed the way it should be anymore. Now what I'll do here is remove the needle valve as well. And be careful doing this because there is a small spring under the part that's beneath my thumb here. And the spring is still there. Now if your parts are really dirty on the exterior, what I recommend as well is to air blow it with an air gun. So now at this point I am going to put the small 2-cycle carburetor in there and the parts that went with it. Now on this carburetor here I will remove the float and the needle valve as well. And what I do sometimes too is I remove the air jet. You take off this screw here, and I believe it is the air jet, this part here, but I don't put the plastic piece in. I just put the whole carb like this. The reason I remove it is so that the solution can get in every little hole of the carburetor. But on the 2-cycle carburetor that's already in the ultrasonic cleaner, you could remove the adjusting screws as well so that the solution gets right in every little hole of the carb. And there's also an advantage to soaking the parts before you turn the machine on because it does soften all the dirt. And I'll do the same on the other carburetor. And what I usually do is try to face the dirtiest side of the parts downwards. And the last part I'm going to put in there is this brass spacer. And when I put parts in the ultrasonic cleaner, I make sure that they're submerged. Okay, so I've got the temperature up to the setting here. It's actually 1 degree over. I'm going to set it for 25 minutes. Now, just a warning here, the noise of this machine is extremely annoying. It's like nails on a chalkboard. So you might want to turn it on and then go do something out of your shop. If you can't, then you might just have to put up with that noise. And this one here, you can bring up the time in 5-minute increments. You can also lower it if you want. Okay, so the 25 minutes is up here. And be careful, this will be hot. Now you can grab pliers to grab the small handles so you don't burn your hands here. And they look pretty clean. I may have put it in a tad longer than what I should have. If you do find that your parts are still very dirty, then put it back in and set the timer again. And I would recommend at that point that you do it in 10-minute increments. And you can see that they look pretty clean now. There still is a little bit of dirt or some kind of corrosion here. And that's what I was talking about earlier, is that the ultrasonic cleaner does not always remove everything. Sometimes you do have to use your carb cleaners, spray it on, and manually clean them again. And here's the other carb. It's really clean. And by the way, I did have the timer on a bit longer. You can see that the metal has changed color. It's a bit darker than what it should be. It won't stop the performance of it or it to work properly, but it's just a bit darker than what it should be. And again, that's not because of the solution, it's because I had it way too long in there. I should have basically set it at 15 minutes to start with and then checked it. So you can learn from my mistake today here. And the 2-cycle carburetor is nice and clean. It is, however, a little bit darker. The metal has darkened a bit. No big deal. Again, you're learning from my mistake. And the brass piece here feels nice and clean. It's not oily, however, it is stained. And here's the carburetor bowl. It's nice and clean. And the other part from the carburetor as well, that goes on the 2-cycle carburetor. So what I'm going to do at this point is put in another carburetor. I'm only going to put it in for 10-15 minutes so that you see the carb come out without the metal having darkened like these. So at this point here, I'm putting in this carburetor. It's super dirty on the exterior. I will not take the bowl off. I'm just going to put it in so that you guys can see the cleaning results of this machine. At this point here, I will lower the heat. I'll leave it at 100. I'll give it a few minutes to cool down as well, and with the lid off. And I will put the carburetor upside down. Now at this point here, I'm going to show you what I do with carburetors when they come out of the machine. I do grab my air gun and I do blow out the carburetors. I want to make sure that there's no water left in any small holes of the carb, including the jet holes. So for example, if I grab the other carb here, all the jets are removed. I can just go ahead and blow it all out. Make sure you wear safety glasses when you do this. So if it's summertime, what I do is I put the carburetors outside to dry in the sun. If it's the winter time, I put them near a heat source to dry out properly. Also keep it far enough from the heat source just as a safety precaution. And what I forgot to tell you earlier is you can remove jets from the emulsion tubes on the carburetors you're cleaning if they do have them inside. Just remove the jets. You can clean them manually or throw them into the ultrasonic cleaner as well. And once your carburetor is all dry, you can reinstall all the parts and try it on your machine. Okay, so I've got the temperature down to 103 here. I'm going to put the lid back on. My carb is in there upside down, the dirt facing the bottom. I'm going to start it up at 10 minutes. Okay, so we're done 10 minutes here. I'm going to have a look. And it's a nice job. I could put it in for another 5-10, but you can see on this side how clean it is. You can actually air blow that dirt that's left. But actually here I'm going to stick it in for another 10 minutes. You can see the carburetor did not change color, which is good. So I cut it a bit short from the extra 10 minutes. Let's take it out again. So more dirt went away with the second round. If there's more left like there is now, just use the air gun. Make sure you've got safety glasses. And usually the dirt will be very easy to remove with the air gun once it's been in there. But again, you can see it's a good cleaning. It makes it look new again. So on this carburetor here, I did not overdo it with the length of time it was in the machine. And I also had the heat set at a better setting. The carb did not change color at all. You can see it does a nice job. So again, normally I would put this carb in there with the bowl off and all the parts off. Once it comes out of the machine, just air blow it. Make sure you blow out all the small passages that you can see on the carb, just to make sure there's no water left in it. Also, 5 manually cleaned carburetors, and they're super clean, and the machine still doesn't run right. I will put it into the ultrasonic cleaner. If the equipment still does not run right after a carburetor comes out of there, then I replace the carburetor. And I also tell this to my customers as well. If I need to replace their carburetors, I do let them know that I've cleaned it, also put it in the machine here. And once it comes out of there, if it doesn't run, don't waste your time anymore. So again here, I'm just going to go over some of the things I went through in the video. First of all, it's not good to use the greaser that is corrosive in your ultrasonic cleaner. These here are the 2 products I use in my ultrasonic cleaner, the Blue Dawn dish soap and the Zep orange degreaser. In the winter time, I do leave a bit of windshield washer in the machine or antifreeze so that the water and solution do not freeze. And remember, even though you do have an ultrasonic cleaner, you will at times have to use your carb cleaners to manually clean a carburetor. And just another tip here before I end off the video is a bigger ultrasonic cleaner would be preferable in a small engine shop. This one here is only 2.5 liter capacity. I would suggest at least 3 to 5 liter capacity. You'll be able to put in much bigger parts. Now, the most important question that I get in regards to ultrasonic cleaners is it necessary to have one in a small engine shop? Well, my answer to that is no, it's not necessary, but it will give you an edge. It will help you out when you're busy. You can just dump your carburetor in there, put it on while you do something else, and it will give you a better sense of confidence knowing that if you did put a carburetor through there and it still doesn't run, that you've done everything you can. It also gives your customers a bit of confidence as well if they see you've got the proper equipment in your shop. And again, if you do buy one for your shop and you're serious about what you do, try to get a good industrial one like this that is all metal. Just be careful of the plastic ones. They can break more easily than these ones. If you have any comments or suggestions as to how to use this machine or what works best for you, please comment in the comment section. If I forgot to mention anything else, please comment as well. And let us know the solution that you use in your ultrasonic cleaner as well. I'm sure everybody else would be interested in knowing. I'm interested in knowing as well myself. Thanks again for watching. Make sure to subscribe and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and have yourselves a great day.